back to the Hilltop Pillbox here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. Today we're going to be playing a game over the internet with my good buddy Jeremy off in Vancouver. And I will likely be playing the Allies and he will play the Axis. It may happen that we might have enough time to get 2 games in.
That would be great.
And that would be great. We could each play one side. We'll be playing just using the order cards just to make sure we keep things straight. He hasn't played before, but he was able to pick up a copy of the game for $5.
That's unbelievable.
So, we both saw the same ad on Facebook Marketplace of all places, and he scooped it. I wasn't going to buy it, but I just thought I emailed the seller to say, hey, is everything included? Like, is everything there? But she never got back to me, but Jeremy was able to pick it up. So we're going to play a game of that today. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, we have just order cards that tell you, what things to do in what order. It's very, very disciplined that way. There's no economy in the game. You essentially roll for reinforcements. And so the Germans have a Western and an Eastern reinforcement card, and then you have the American and British reinforcement cards. And the goal of the game is for the Allies to outright own 1, 2, 3 cities in France, and that means that there are no German units. Now the tricky thing about this game is that even if the Allies, let's say they take Saint-Lô, and the dots have nothing to do with the territory. It's just to show that that's the city. But this is also in Saint-Lô. So on the German turn, they can go in here, with a few units, and unless the Allies kill all the units, the Germans actually win the game. So if there is any discrepancy, then if there's a contested space, because you only do 1 round. Then the Axis will win the game. So it's a little easier to play the Germans in this game, but the Allies do have one ace up their sleeve, which is the Air Force, and they can scream around and kill things typically more easily than they can be killed. But these are all you have. You only have 10 planes, and they represent pure air superiority. There are no German aircraft in the game. The game only lasts for 10 rounds, so you can't mess around. You got to pitter patter. You got to get going. Oh, I still got to put my 101st and 82nd Airborne on. And that's what we're going to be playing. And we'll let you know how round 1 goes in just a moment. And we'll see if Omaha Beach. It's set up in this game to be an abject failure. So we'll see if we can change history a little bit. Wish us luck. Alright, the first turn is over. We're moving on to round 2, and Omaha, as they said in The Longest Day, is a bloody shambles, and it really, really is.
General, first reports from Omaha, sir. Assault teams have landed. No direct radio contact, but destroyers report first and second waves appear to be pinned down on the beach. Concentrated artillery and mortar fire. Third wave floundering. Heavy casualties, sir.
Now we got 1 blockhouse blown away, and then when I did my attack I got 1 hit, and he chose to take a blockhouse and then moved in and hit me for 3, and I hit him for none. So yeah, we're hurting there pretty badly, but some good news is over on the British beaches. It's a little better. Gold Beach is a little gummed up, but Juno has been cleared by the Canadians. And Sword Beach has done quite well. They got most of their hits in defense, actually, as the Germans roared in, and the British rolled pretty well. So I've decided to reinforce that to cause a real bunch of grief to him there. Utah has been cleared, but as you know, you can only place the number of reinforcements as are allowed by the reinforcement box, so I can only put 4 units on. I rolled an 8, but yeah, you only get 4. And he's decided to send everything up here to try to stop this advance from Utah. Placed my fighters here, so I was able to kill 1 man as he tried to bring his pair of guys over. And I did actually place 4 British fighters here, and I killed his German tank as he was trying to escape. He's decided to put all of his reinforcements right in the middle, and hoping to cause 10 kinds of grief at Khan, and that's not a bad strategy. That can work out. This is the Deadpool from the first round, so the Allies lost more ground units, but the hits were pretty even overall. Alright, here we go, round 2. Wish us luck.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Bye-bye.
Especially here, I think the Omaha Beach is going to die. Alright, moving on to turn 3 here. And it's been an interesting round. First off, the British did have a successful landing here. And Canadians, as we know, had cleared everything out and went to move towards Caen. The British got a little held up here. The Germans did a counterattack, but it failed, and the British were able to kill the surviving tank. Caen's getting loaded up, of course, and over here he brought a tank over, did an attack, but didn't hit anything, and we didn't hit anything either. That's off Juno Beach. Gold Beach was looking a lot better, and then the Germans took half of their forces from Omaha and brought them over to Gold and did quite the spoiling attacks, down to 1 tank, which is unfortunate. But the big story of this round was my air power. I had placed 4 American fighters here and 4 British fighters, and he had 5 tanks here trying to get through to Caen. And I killed 4 of them, like just one after the other, one after the other, one after the other.
Hey, just tell me one thing. Where did you learn to shoot like that?
7-Eleven.
And I killed an artillery and everything. The only thing that made it through was a single man, and then he ended up leaving 1 man behind. He'd had enough of that. So his reinforcements really got hammered right there. That really hurt him. So Caen might be in some trouble, but this is a tale of 2 sides. As we know, Omaha still is held by the Germans. Utah, they had a counterattack, and he's got a good force here that was able to counterattack. And it's likely that these guys might be dead, and he can move in here and hammer that. So, but the Germans, the one thing the Germans have trouble with is defending Cherbourg if they go too big here and take too many losses, because getting reinforcements up there is very, very difficult. The British are halfway, maybe a little bit more than halfway through their chart, whereas the Americans haven't really begun much. And the Germans, very poor reinforcements in the west, but very strong in the east. So it'll be interesting to see if he gives up on Caen and just focuses more on the Western Theater. But we will carry on to round 3, and we'll see if Caen can be taken. Alright, we're on to round 4 now, and the game is shaping up fairly historically. Caen is under siege a bit here. Pretty nothing battle, actually. I only got 1 hit and killed an infantry, and he got 2 hits and killed a couple infantry off me. So not as bloody as we were hoping for.
I am depressed.
My fighters kept his reinforcements from being placed too far. He tried to put an artillery here, and he was zorched. And over here we have Saint-Lô getting hefty reinforcements, so that's going to be the nut to crack. But up here the Germans had some great skill here and destroyed the American contingent, and in this battle nobody got any hits. So, or no, he got a hit on an artillery, and I did not get a hit with him with 5 dice, so we're going to have to do a little better there. As you can see from the reinforcements, the Americans still have a lot to come on, but the British, we're almost done. So what you see is what you got. The Germans are coming on slowly in the west, very slowly. And the east, they're about to throw 3 more tank divisions in there. So that will be ugly. But we're sitting at, we've done 3 turns, starting turn 4, and this looks pretty good here for the Allies, obviously, looks pretty good. But this looks very good for the Axis, and we're bulking up good. See what turn 4 does. Alright, moving on to turn 5. We're just entering close to the midpoint of the game. And it's a tale of 2 theaters, I'll tell you that. So we were able to take Caen, but the Germans do have quite a bit of reinforcement coming in. So my fighters may have to bite the bullet, and we'll definitely put some in Caen to help hold that. But over here, Saint-Lô is being reinforced by a ton of stuff. So I rolled an 11 for the east and a 12 for the west. So he put on, well, not 23 because I think he only had 7 left here, but he put on 19 reinforcements this turn. And the British are down to a lone artillery, and the Americans rolled snake eyes at the worst possible time, because Utah Beach is pretty much toast, and Omaha is still stuck, but hopefully we'll get out of there this round.
Not bloody likely.
So the Brits are roaming a little freer, but there's too much stuff here to try to go into Saint-Lô right now, and we need to shore up and play a little defense, unfortunately, for a couple of turns before we can go for Saint-Lô. But this has been such a disaster, I don't see how we can get out of here. But if we can, it's wide open. So that's the key, is we gotta somehow punch through with the Americans, and the Brits are gonna have to come take Saint-Lô. Wish us luck. Not sure if it's gonna happen. Moving on to turn 6, and the hits just keep on coming for the Americans. We were able to finally take Omaha on turn 5.
Taking long enough.
It's too late. Too late. We're gonna have to really boogie. So he came in here with everything and kicked me out, killed everything, and I rolled a 7, but I can only put 4 units here, so I decided to put my heaviest hitters. I've got 2 tanks that are going to come over, so that'll be 6 units that can make it into there, and I'm going to hit that with both bombers. Even though he has AA guns, my bombers drop first, so hopefully that'll help. I had put all my fighters in Caen, and 2 here and 2 here, so that kept them there, and he didn't bother reinforcing Caen because of that. But he came over here and did quite the attack. He killed 3 of my guys, but I did kill 3 of his, so kind of bloody there. But you can see he's got lots of stuff coming in here to the Saint-Lô, so we got to get more of this American stuff on the beaches soon. We need these tanks really badly. Really badly. Only have 3 American tanks on the board right now, so we're gonna have to get our air power here. If we can take that out this round, then we have a chance. Then we have a chance, because then I can just zip a tank up to Cherbourg. But it's yeah, not bloody likely, as they say. It's going really quickly though. The game plays very quickly with no economy, and works pretty well here over the internet.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the internet.
So, alright, so moving on to turn 6. We're halfway through the game. Just a few more German reinforcements left. So what you see is what you got. Alright, turn 6 coming up. Alright, moving on to turn 7, and things are looking a little bit better for the Americans on this. Had some fortunate dice, rolled a lot of 2s when I needed to, so looking a little better. So we're putting our big punch towards Saint-Lô, but it's turn 7, so we'll be here 7, 8, 9. Alright, so if the stuff survives, it'll make it that far. The Germans have been doing a lot of spoiling attacks to tie me up. So it's a good chance they'll lose these 3 guys here, but they can hit me again with 8. So I might be running out of British tanks here pretty shortly. Khan, I did a bit of a spoiling attack myself. I had my 4 fighters in there and he didn't want to come in, so he put a decent sized force here, 5 guys or something. I had 4 hits, but now these guys are close, so we'll see what he does. But I think Khan's pretty safe. But Saint-Lô is another issue. I don't know if we're going to be able to kill everything in time. We have 4 turns left though, and everybody's reinforcements are on except for 3 Americans, and at least a couple of them are fast movers. Turn 7 coming up. Big battle coming here. Alright, on to turn 8. 3 turns left, and the Americans have been able to break through, so the lone German artillery decided to back up, and that was a good move, because we're going to have to, at some point, just try our luck with the tanks, and I need the tanks down here, so I might just send a couple of bombers after that thing, and there you go. He did have some success. He shot down one of my planes when I placed it on there, but I really wanted to try to keep them tied up, not go into Khan. He did a very good spoiling attack here in Balleroy and ended up killing 1 British tank and an artillery. And the Americans, for their final roll, well, it's not final, but for this roll, rolled another Snake Eyes.
You suck!
So, it's twice they've rolled Snake Eyes, so they actually still have an artillery left that will not see any action, because it'll go on turn 9 and 10. So the farthest they can get would be into 2 in, and if I'm fighting out here, then yeah, that's the game. Bombers had some success this last turn, killed a couple of tanks, and that's what I'm going to have to do, is just send them in and just try to take off 2 this turn, 2 next turn, and the final turn I probably won't be able to use them because they'll be in with German units. My units will be in with German units, so the bombers become irrelevant at some point. I loaded up fighters here to keep them all in Rennes, and I'm probably going to put the other 4 fighters into Saint-Lô this next turn, and just, hey, if they get shot down, they get shot down. Yeah, it's been a really good game though, and for his first game, he's been giving me fits, so we'll see if we can punch through into Saint-Lô in time, and see if we can get into Cherbourg, because remember, 1 unit, that's all it takes. And the city is contested. Yeah, we're turning on to turn 9 here. And yeah, this is how it looks like right now. And this could be a very interesting moment, because we know that we don't always get hits with 3s. But down here, he has done a move that is very annoying, which is to back up. So you're adjacent to Saint-Lô, and I only have 2 turns left, and I got to somehow kill everything here in 2 turns, and I just don't think I've got enough oomph, but you never know, you never know. I put 3 fighters in Saint-Lô, he had 3 AA guns, shot down 2 of them. Go figure. Khan has been subdued, so we just have to make sure we put guys in there this turn, and that'll be it for Khan. And it looks like Saint-Lô is going to be the battlefield. We've got a good number of stuff, and I may actually hold off 1 turn. But I don't think I can really afford to do that, so I might have to put a blocker here, come in with everything I can, and set everything up here for a final push on turn 10. It's going to be interesting though. It's a fairly well designed game. There's a few things with it that don't quite work as well as gameplay mechanics go, but I think it's a pretty well balanced game overall, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video thus far. We have 2 more turns to go. They're going to be quick. Will Saint-Lô fall? Alright, here we go. We are on the final round, and this is what it looks like. There are 2 cities that are still under German control or contested. Cherbourg and Saint-Lô. Saint-Lô, there you go. My bombers came in last turn and got no hits, so the assault didn't go very well. I killed one thing in the attack, and I killed 2 things in the defense. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but what I have to do now is I'm going to have to load up fighters in here, load up fighters in here. When I say load up, I've only got 5 left, so probably 3 in there and 2 in there, and he's just going to keep feeding in until he has 8 on this round, and I won't be able to kill 8. So the only thing I can possibly do is swing a tank around here and a man, bomb it, put my fighters in there, hopefully it survives. It's going to be tough. This is going to be tough. I'm going to have to figure out something to do here. And wouldn't it be funny if I took Saint-Lô and wiped out all the Germans, but then screwed up here? Could be funny. But we're going to load them up. We're going to try to just absolutely annihilate everything around Saint-Lô. I think I screwed up last turn with my tanks. I think I screwed up. I should have moved them to Carentan, because then I could move them down into here. But we'll see in just a moment. Alright, so here we go. The Cherbourg fell fairly anticlimactically, but now we are here. And my Air Force took a huge toll on his reinforcements coming in. So I have 7 units versus his 3. Or 8 units, pardon me. He did kill 1 with his attack, but I have 8 twos in defense. I need to get 3 hits or more, or else the Germans win the game. This is the last roll of the game, and you get to see it. Drum roll, please. And I got 3 hits. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. All right.
Go Allies.
So Jeremy was watching that in real time. So the Allies ended up winning the game ever so by the skin of the teeth. And they have 1 tank left, which obviously is going to turn around and zip away. Alright, so thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. And we're going to hopefully have another game of this soon. Or another game of some kind. Thanks for watching, as we say here at the Hilltop Pillbox. Hug your loved ones. Tell your friends that you're thankful they play with you. And may those dice be with you.